Hi there. Welcome to The PrevenTable, the podcast giving you a seat at the table with conversations about the intersection of alcohol, drugs, and mental health in everyday lives. Take a seat and join us.
Welcome to The PrevenTable. With me today is artist, musician, and artivist, Brock Seals. Welcome to The PrevenTable.
Thank you for having me.
What the heck is an artivist?
An artivist is a term that I kind of adopted. Basically, for me, it is an artist that uses his voice for change. So I'm using my art as my voice. I feel like an activist is someone who uses their voice directly to get their point across. But me being in my profession, and I felt what was most comfortable for me was to use my art as my voice.
Well, we are privileged to have some of your art on our walls at Prevent+Ed because we have a racial equity committee who earlier in 2021, they worked up the courage to say to me, their boss, this building is a little boring. It's a little white, figuratively and literally.
Right.
It needs a little something.
Mm-hmm.
So we put out lots of bids and lots of calls, and I was reaching out to all kinds of people, and I heard about you because of the work you've done with STL Bucket List and the Cardinals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What have you done with the Cardinals? I mean, kind of a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah, well, it was just like one big thing, so kind of unraveled into a bunch of other things. So basically, I did a design for their hat for the African American Heritage Night. So with that hat, it was you just bought a theme ticket to the game, and you received the hat as like a promotional item.
Instead of a bobblehead or whatever, they got
one of your
hats.
You got a super dope hat designed by St. Louis own Brock
How
Seals.
does that feel? I mean, that's
man.
Dude, that is huge.
Yeah, it is huge. It was a good moment, like something huge in my career, just to have my family out there and just kind of see, an organization like the Cardinals, who we all love, or just me to collaborate with them, with some art.
It's a huge deal. And I'll be honest, before I heard, so once my friend sent me a link on Instagram and she's like, you need to check this artist out. They're amazing. They did some stuff with the Cardinals. I was like, wow, that's really cool, but he's not going to have time. He's going to be way too expensive. I messaged you. You messaged me right away. And now I feel like we're really cool.
Yeah.
Because we have two, not one, but two.
Right, you got two.
Of your murals.
Big ones.
I know. And I walk in the other day to the City Foundry. My kid and I are stopped dead in the tracks, and we're like, that's Brock. Like, you're everywhere.
Yeah, it's been picking up lately. Like, these past 2 years, I feel like my career has officially started. But, I mean, I've been working for, 10 plus years, creatively. But these past 2 years, it's picked up. Big time.
So do you think that you had one big break, or do you feel like it's just been slow and steady wins the race?
I feel like just 10 years of work, one day you're going to hit it, and it just, goes up from there. It was no big thing. The Cardinals wasn't the first. I mean, that was huge. But, I mean, it started to pick up a little bit before that,
Really? So was music your thing first, or art?
Yeah,
or
music.
What?
I've been doing music my whole life since I was 8 or 9 years old. So we had a program in my school. I went to Jennings.
Okay.
We had a after-school program. They had a studio inside the school, a recording studio.
No way.
Yeah. So to use the studio, you had to make songs about schools type stuff. Positive type stuff.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to make music so bad, so we did it. And it was just something that I was in a little group with me and two of my other bros, and we just kept doing it over the years, and that just developed my love for songwriting, rapping, just being in a professional studio. And from there, I just never stopped. Never stopped writing, never stopped making music.
So could you always draw and paint? I mean, are you one of those people that kind of can do everything? One of those people that make me sick?
I wouldn't say that, because
you can brag on yourself.
Yeah.
Brock.
No, I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
When I was a kid, I used to scribble a lot. And when I used to do that, I was like, oh, I'm not going to be an artist. Because, you always had that kid in school who can just draw super good.
Yes,
you
who's
just
doodling, and you're just in awe, right? I was not that kid.
Yeah, me neither. And that's why I didn't think I was an artist. But I loved doing creative things. I was into fashion. So I felt I kind of learned how to hand sew. And so I learned that, and I just started doing fashion a lot. In high school, I had a clothing line with me and two of my other homies.
I'm sorry, what? You had a clothing line?
Yeah. In high school, it was called Hello Tomorrow. So it was a lifestyle streetwear T-shirt brand.
Huh.
So we made just like cool, dope T-shirts, and we was selling them to all kids in high schools. It was like throughout the whole little high school.
That's cool.
You know what I'm
and
saying?
you went to
Throughout the
Jennings
city.
High School?
Mm-hmm. That's where I went.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we was selling those out the trunk for a while. Out of high school and a little bit into college. So after I graduated, I went to Columbia College in Chicago to study fashion.
Oh, that's a great school.
Yeah, super great, lots of resources, but I wasn't focused at all. I wasn't, I was trying to do everything my way. I thought I had it figured out, but I thank God for that happening because it was a reality check. After I lost my scholarship that year, I came back to St. Louis. And I was like, damn, like my back against the wall. Like I felt like I failed myself, my mom.
Oh yeah.
And
the
I'm like,
disappointment
yeah,
with the family, the whole deal.
all that. So I had to like get back on track. And there was no fashion program in St. Louis, so I had to pick something different. And I was like, I did used to like to scribble back in the day. What about art? I'm like, that's just the next coolest thing that interested me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to go and study anything that didn't fulfill me. I wasn't gonna waste money, going to college and studying something that I didn't want to do.
So you went to school for art?
Yeah, I went to Flow Valley.
Really? and I mean, I always naively, I think that you're just born to know how to do art. But does it teach you a discipline in how to make art and how to? And do they teach you the business side too?
Well,
because if I went home and said, Dad, I'm going to study art, my dad would be like, and what are you going to do for your job?
Right.
So there's that, how you make money at it, too.
It's two different things. So to answer that first question, they do teach you how to use the tools. I realized that I had the ideas. I had everything in my head. I knew how I wanted it to look, but I didn't know how to do it myself. So learning how to use a paintbrush, how to draw, how to, all the basics helped me get those ideas, helped me do them myself, helped me learn how to use it. So I tell anybody can learn how to do it. You just got to put the time into it. That's with anything. That's with anything you want to do.
Anything.
Yeah, you got to put the time into it. So me putting the time and working hard into it, it paid off. I learned how to paint. I learned how to become the artist that I wanted to be. And as far as the business aspect, they do teach you, different, they touch on it, but ultimately it's up to you. Art has no rules, so it's no structure. So if you want to be a successful or an artist that gets paid for his work, you got to find your niche. It's so many different lanes that you can sell your art. So you have to find what's best for you. And me, I was just, I kind of used what I had, which was a big network of people, So from doing the clothing line, I met a bunch of people. From doing music, I met a bunch of people. So I used my network to kind of sell my artwork.
So what would you say your niche is? Like if you go to your website, rockseals.com, you'll see all kinds of stuff that you do. And for me, I think you can see that artivist side coming through. But what do you say to folks is your niche?
Just all around creativity. I love to paint clothing, shoes. That's something that I do frequently. But my niche is just creativity. I consider myself like a visionary because I just have like ideas and I see like the whole thing from the beginning to end. So if I can bring people on to it, whether it's planning an event or planning a roll-off for an album or just like painting some shoes, I see the idea. So that's kind of my niche, is the idea.
You also, everything that I've seen is very positive. It's like the music that I've listened to of yours, the art I've seen.
Yeah.
It's not, I wouldn't say it's like clean. There's like clean comedians. Like it's not like that, but it's very.
It's clean comedians?
Yeah. Like didn't Bob Saget used to be a clean comedian or something? But now he's like a real dirty comedian. Yeah. Jim Gaffigan is a clean comedian. He's the guy that always talks about food.
I'm not familiar with Jim. I got to check in.
He's funny. He's like funny with the dad jokes, and he always talks about food because he's a little bit overweight. So, but like you could bring a kid to his show and not have to plug their ears.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So
you got to fill that void.
Yeah. Right. So I would describe you as positive, not necessarily clean. Like I wouldn't say you're like your stuff's all PG rated.
Right.
but it's definitely optimistic and hopeful.
That definitely sums it up.
Is that intentional for you?
Yeah. I wanted to do something. I mean, it's me. That's what I would say it is. I'm not like trying to rap like somebody else or be something that I'm not. So my music is clearly my message. You know, that's why it's not all PG, because I keep it real. You know, like very optimistic, very inspiring. I want to like definitely inspire people and give them the hope and courage, you know, when they may be going through something or just kind of feeling certain things that I may have felt in certain times. You know, I'm really reflective. So if I'm going through something, I may put it in a song because this message that was passed to me could help somebody else. So,
which is why I think that your, do we need water?
Yeah, I could use some water.
Get you some water. Okay,
Yeah.
we will do that. But
Appreciate
it's why I think that the mural you did in the area for our counseling clients is so, like, it just speaks so well, because when you came in, I told you that this is the service we provide. We're not providing treatment, but we are providing services to people who are at a really low point, and we want to help them navigate to a different life, a better life. And we're not saying that they're making bad choices or they're making wrong choices, but because that's way too judgmental and that's not how we are.
Yeah.
But I feel like I was able to talk to you and you came back with a mural that really paints a picture, pardon the pun, of what it is we do. So could you talk a little bit about that mural that you did for the counseling area?
Absolutely. So that was the rose that grew from concrete. So that's inspired by a poem from Tupac. And I remember reading that poem like in middle school or something like that. But it was just real popular, and it really just stuck out to me because it was talking about a message of just being, you know, like you say, resilient. Just keep not letting your surroundings determine your future, you know, or your circumstances determine your future, giving you hope that, you know, the most beautiful thing can come out of disasters. You know, and that just kind of really speaks to my story, you know, of me not succeeding, you know, in my first year going off to college. You know, something beautiful happened from that. I couldn't see it, but, you know, I'm very grateful that that happened, you know. So that mural and you guys' message, you know what I'm saying, to the people who may see that mural, it just kind of aligned with everything that I was doing. So, appreciate it. Yeah, it just aligned with everything I was doing. So, it was effortless.
And it took you less than a week. I mean, that one I feel like just kind of flowed out. Like it just, I mean, does that happen with a lot of your work when you feel inspired?
Yeah, that's all my work really. Like if I'm not,
are you to a point where you can say no to something?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, I've always been at that point.
Okay.
Only because like I don't want to. Well.
Like you don't want to do something that's fake.
Yeah, I don't want to do something that's fake or something that's not me. You know, I would hate it. Not saying that I've said yes to some things that I wish I would have said no to, because I have to learn.
Of course.
So I've definitely learned, and like, you know, money is not always the deciding factor. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's just not aligning with me or it's not, I don't feel it in my soul, then I'm gonna hate it every second while I'm doing it. So yeah.
Now, do you travel for work?
Yes. Yeah, I just came back from Nashville.
What'd you do in Nashville?
A week ago.
Can you talk
last
about
week.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, what'd you do?
So I did an art show at a gallery. I was in a group show at this gallery called Mod Fellows Gallery there in Nashville, Tennessee. So I went, displayed some art. I got it up there for like a month or so. It'll be up. So if you're in Nashville, if you're listening, go check it out. It's at Mod Fellows Gallery.
Mod Fellows Gallery.
Yeah, in Nashville, Tennessee.
And what's a group show? Sorry.
A group show is like basically a bunch of different artists.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not just my art that's in the show. So you got different artists, you got photographers, illustrators, painters.
But painting is your thing, right? Or
yeah, I got some artwork in there, like some paintings, and then I got some shoes that I painted. So I got them on display too. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And I've heard that St. Louis is sort of becoming a fashion town, right? Don't we have like a fashion incubator or something?
Yeah, it's always been a fashion town. Like
with shoes, right?
Yeah, shoes, and then like back in the day, it was like a big hub for like fashion designers. Like before our time.
Yeah, it's like coming back around.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. So what's next for you? Do you have any cool projects that you can talk about? Are they all super top secret?
No, let me think. 'Cause I be doing so much stuff like
I know. I feel like
day
just
to
in
day.
here today, like you've already picked up 3 new clients.
Yeah. So I have to like think like what's coming up.
Which is a good problem to
Okay,
have.
I did some cleats for a NFL player, Denzel Ward. He played for the Cleveland Browns.
Cool.
Yeah, you watch football?
Yeah, actually.
Okay,
I'm a
yeah.
Saints fan.
Saints.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. So he plays for the Browns. He's like the safety or cornerback, something like that.
Okay.
So this was for the My Cause, My Cleats. So every year they do
Yes.
the
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
How
so
cool would it be, by the way, if PrevenTed, like if somebody's cause was actually like substance use disorders or prevention? How awesome would
hey,
that be?
I'm pretty sure that's got to be somebody's in the league.
Awesome. So he reached out to you and
Yeah, and they he has a foundation called Make Them Know Your Name, which honors his father, who died from a heart condition. So we took that and also the Make Them Know Your Name piece and designed some cleats. So he'll be wearing them. They got a bye coming up this week, so the week after he'll have them in the game that they play against the Ravens.
oh wow.
It's lit.
So what does that look like? Is that you and all of your family like sitting around watching the Browns game? Or are you just like to the point now where you're like, oh, it's on TV if you want to check it out?
Nah, I'm definitely. I
would geek out.
Yeah,
over
I
that.
still get geeked off seeing stuff like that. You mentioned that. That's funny because I had some shoes that I did for this TV show called Young Dylan. It's on Nickelodeon.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was an episode where he was trying to get some shoes, and I designed the shoe that he was trying to get, and like his uncle he knew the guy with the shoes or something like that. So I designed the shoes for that. So me and my whole family, we had a watch party in my brother's basement, like waiting to see the shoes, and we watching Nickelodeon. Like nobody in there was a kid, but we all like some kids waiting for 7:30 for it to come on. So
that's cool.
yeah, that was super dope.
So it's kind of full circle for you.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like it's like, you started pursuing passions and selling t-shirts and everything, and then you had a little bit of a rocky like young adulthood, which by the way, who doesn't?
Right.
And then now everybody's like cheering you on. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a blessing. And it just goes to show that you just can't give up. You got to just keep going through the adversity, through people not supporting you, through you feeling like it's worthless. You just have to keep going. At the end of the day, you can't look at what the next man is doing. You can't look at, anything else but your journey, because you never know what's on your path. And it's hard.
It's hard.
Especially when you don't have somebody like pushing you to do it. When it's all on you, you can easily give up. Giving up is the easiest thing to do. But stick it out. Just keep doing it. Find ways to keep doing it.
I am so excited to watch the game and see your shoes.
Definitely.
I cannot
take pictures of the
wait.
screen.
I will, and I will send them to you. So if you're interested in learning more about Brock or potentially purchasing some of his art or commissioning him, brockseals.com, correct?
brockseals.com. Seals Brock on all social media networks. SEALS BROCK. Brock Seals on all streaming platforms. You want to listen to my music?
Man,
check me out.
I am so grateful that I have met you. I really am really appreciative, and I think that your energy and your spirit are like exactly what is needed right now.
Definitely.
So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate the platform, letting me come and speak my piece, and
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm grateful for you. If you like what you hear with Brock, feel free to rate, review, subscribe to the PrevenTable podcast. I'd love to have you on in like a year, because I just can't wait to see what's next.
It's going to be love. Yeah, I got to be here too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Bringing in that water right on time, right?
That saved me.
Rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us at The PrevenTable, brought to you ad-free by Prevent+Ed. Prevent+Ed works to reduce or prevent the harms of alcohol and other drug use through education, intervention, and advocacy. Please visit their website at prevented.org. Like what you heard? Rate, review, and subscribe to stay up to date with what we are serving on The PrevenTable.